Hello, welcome to the Hammond Regional Art Center screen printing tutorial. My name is Jose and today I'm going to teach you how to take your illustration from a piece of paper to a shirt. Now, even though I'll be focusing on a shirt today, just remember, as long as it's flat, you can probably screen print on it. Piece of paper, that's good. Piece of wood, even better. I'm going to go over all the materials and I move the microphone. And once we review those, I'll tell you where to get them and we can begin.
Now, to begin, I would recommend for you to buy the Speedball Advanced All-in-One Screen Printing Kit. A mouthful to say, but this will give you 80% of everything you need. You will need to buy a couple of things outside of the kit, but it's not too much. Let's go over it.
Okay, so here's what you get in the screen printing kit. You'll get a bottle of photo emulsion remover, a bottle of photo emulsion, along with this tiny guy here that is a sensitizer. You will also get a couple of assorted inks. If you want to buy different inks for this project, just remember there's two different types, fabric and acrylic. If you want to print specifically on shirts, make sure you get the fabric one. If you use acrylic ink to print on a shirt, it won't stay. Once you put it in the washer, that print is gone. A squeegee, a UV light bulb, and this is something I highly recommend for you to get on your own. Buy a lamp for the light bulb. Don't use the one that comes in, that's a cat. Don't use the one that comes in the kit, because the one that comes in the kit is just the lamp that you hang. This, I recommend for you to buy something that you can clamp down and that has a flexible base. This will make the process so much easier. Trust me on this. Just, buy something cheap. You will also get two transparencies, and you will get the screen itself and a base. This you have to buy on your own, unfortunately. I don't know why it's not included. This is a scoop. I'll put a link on the description. And these are just spatulas. If you have old spatulas in your kitchen that you want to use for an art project, go for it. If not, just buy cheap spatulas. Nothing special about them.
And I forgot to mention that you will also need a spray bottle, just a regular kitchen sponge, and hair dryer. Okay, once you have your materials, you're going to start with activating the photo emulsion right here. You will use the activator, this tiny bottle. We need to fill it to around the halfway point with distilled water, but who has distilled water? I've been doing this for years with just regular water, and nothing bad has actually ever happened. So here we go. Okay guys, no, I'm kidding. Nothing bad's gonna happen. If you don't have distilled water, it's okay. Just regular tap water will work. Make sure it's not too hot, and after that we're gonna mix it. We're gonna shake this very well. Shake it for at least a minute or two. You want to get every little speck of dust in this. After that, you'll get the photo emulsion. Make sure you have a disposable little stick or something to mix everything with. You're gonna open this bottle up. Yeah, why? Anyways, you're gonna get the little activator bottle, sensitizer, sorry. It's gonna be a dark green, and you're gonna pour it into this dark blue. Okay, last time I make that joke. Anyways, you're gonna notice that the emulsion is this light blue. You're gonna mix it very well until you get this bright green, and make sure it's consistent. You don't want any of those hints of blue or darker colors. Make sure it's a uniform green color. So make sure you mix it for a couple minutes till you get that green. After that, you're gonna cover it, and we're gonna store it in a dry, cool place for a couple hours. And the little sensitizer bottle, you can just throw that away. You don't need it anymore. Okay, now that we waited a couple hours, get your photo emulsion and uncover it again somehow, because it kind of stuck again. What is it with me and bottles? Anyways, you're gonna pour all of this. Make sure it's consistent green, no blue streaks, and pour a lot of it. Don't worry, we'll save the rest into your scoop, and we're gonna do exactly this. We're gonna tilt it against the screen, make sure it's touching all the screen, and scoop it up. Put some pressure, make sure firm, not too hard, but firm. You wanna get a consistent green streak like this. Although I got a bit of a thick coat down there. That's not exactly perfect, but it'll work. I'll try it again with the bigger screen I have, and you press down, and then you scoop it all the way up firmly. Then tilt everything back to scoop the remaining photo emulsion. Okay. And here we have a more uniform coating, which would work much better than the previous one. Now, we're going to store these screens in a dark place. No light. Try a closet, a cabinet, as dark as possible for 24 hours. And while we wait, now we can just store all the extra emulsion we had. We store it all, and now remember to wash the spatula and your scoop. You don't want this drying. Now, let's move to the artwork itself. This illustration was done by Elizabeth Allison. Shout out there. She did a little squirrel. She used Photoshop and Illustrator to do this. You don't need these programs to do the printing. This was just the software she used. And we're going to print our artwork in a transparency. You don't need a computer to do this. I'll show you in a bit. Here's her artwork. Now, again, you don't need a computer. If you want, you can basically grab an image you want and put the transparency over it. And you can just trace it, say, with a marker. Remember, black marker. We want as dark as possible. And boom, we got an artwork. And again, you don't have to trace over anything. If you just want to directly draw in the transparency, go for it. You know, you want to print a happy face, draw a happy face. That's a horrible happy face. You want to do a house, just draw directly on the transparency. That's a horrible house. Anyways, now, next step. After the 24 hours, we're going to pretend this is the coated screen. I'm doing this with a dummy screen because remember, we don't want to expose these screens to too much light. So just make sure you do this in a dark room. Now, this is the way you're going to place your screen, like this. Remember, your coated screen. I'm just playing pretend here. You're going to grab your transparency and you're going to reverse it. Just like this. And we're going to put it over the screen, just like this. There you go. Now, remember how I told you to get a lamp with a clamp? This is why, because you want to be able to manipulate how far away you put the UV bulb from the screen. You can basically attach it anywhere. You attach it somewhere, again, in a very dark room. We're doing this in a dark room. And put it, say, some maybe 1.5 feet away from your screen. And we're going to turn on the UV bulb. It'll be a blue light. This is my setup. And we're going to wait exactly 10 minutes. After this, we're going to wash it again in a dark room. I'm using a regular shower head. Don't worry about the pressure. It won't come off if you did everything right. What will come off, though, is your drawing. It'll look something like this. Make sure that light comes out through the, screen. That means you did it right. After that, we're going to let it dry. Usually takes around 30 minutes. We got our shirt here. And we're not going to use the base today. Unfortunately, the shirt is a bit too thick for this base, but we'll manage. Make sure you have a steady hand. You're going to place the screen on top of where you want the print to be on the shirt. Now, ink will pass through the surrounding area. If you're afraid that you don't have enough area covered, you can just get some blue tape, something that's not too harsh because you don't want to damage the screen, and basically cover up the areas that you don't want to print on. Okay, once you have everything covered, it's time to print. I think I have enough space here. I'm just going to print directly on the shirt. because I'm impatient, you can practice on a piece of paper, on a piece of cardboard first. We're going to use fabric ink, remember, not the acrylic one, because we're printing on a shirt. And we're going to place it on top of the screen just like this. Make sure to use a lot, not too much, but it's better to have a bit more than what you think you need. You don't want to run out of ink mid-print. We're going to place that there. We're going to grab our squeegee right here, and we're going to push down. We're going to hold the screen steady. We're going to push down and then drag the ink backwards in one movement. Here we go. Boom, here we go. Are y'all ready for this? We will have our perfect print. Oh no. Okay. If you guys noticed, the print didn't come out quite right. It's not dark enough. Maybe I didn't press hard enough. Maybe the screen wasn't washed with enough pressure. Okay, I'm gonna try again. That's why you practice on a piece of paper first, or a piece of cardboard, but I guess my impatience paid off. Anyways, I'm gonna try one more time with this shirt. This time I'm gonna press a bit harder, and I think that should do the trick, because the print itself, the screen itself, looked pretty good before. And there you go. I guess I wasn't pressing hard enough, or I didn't practice on a piece of paper, but the ink went through completely this time. And you can see the difference there. Boom. So, now that you have successfully printed on the shirt, we're not done yet. Remember the hairdryer? We need to put some heat onto this print in order for it to stay. So we're gonna get a hairdryer on the highest heat setting and just blow at it away. Don't be scared to get too close, or if it gets too hot, we want the heat to seal this in. I edited out the sound, so I'm doing it myself. Anyways, here we have it. This should, if you did use the right ink, you applied heat to it properly, this shirt should go through the washer, no problem, and we got ourselves a print. And we're done. But before, let's go through some notes. Notice the top of the tail here is what kind of didn't come out quite right in the previous shirt. And when you're screen printing, you want to make sure, see how it arts here? It's, thick and dark. The thicker and the darker, the easier it is to print. You don't want thin lines because they might not come out as well. So when you're drawing something or designing something on the computer, make sure you get something thick. Notice the leg, dark, print it out just fine. So you just want to keep that in mind. And that's a wrap, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm just kidding. Time to clean up. My favorite part. Anyways, make sure to wash your squeegee, your spatula, the screen with some water, and that should be it. Make sure it's completely clear of ink. But one last thing, you want to use your screen again, right? For a different artwork. This is where you need the spray bottle. Fill it up with the photo emulsion remover. Spray it a bit. Then you're gonna get your sponge and you're gonna just scrub away. And with some water and the photo emulsion remover, it should come out just fine. I love that song, one of the top 10 songs on my list. I'm just kidding. I just downloaded it for this video. Anyways, you're gonna scrub. Some of the thicker parts might be a bit of a challenge sometimes, but with enough sponge scrubbing and emulsion remover and water, it should eventually come out. I'm gonna stop. Anyways, once you're done, you'll have a clear screen again, and you can start the process from scratch. Thanks for watching. Also, if you want more examples on different methods of screen printing, how to do several layers, there's a link to my personal channel on the description where I screen print on different surfaces with different layers, etc. Also, make sure to check out other artistry classes, especially this one, which is really cool. It teaches about character design and shapes. Other than that, have a good one.